You're live. All right, we're live now. A little bit of music gonna carry us right up to showtime.
These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes, we gotta have some fun and rewind. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. I feel the rope tightening, choking off our air. We need to grab some lightning. Friday's almost here. Caught in a web, we need to cut this thread we're hanging by. Where is it said you have to be half dead to survive? These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder.
There we have it. All right, it's time to rock and roll this.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WordPress plugins A to Z, not Z.
It is the interview show number 65 with Ryan Logan from InfluenceWP, coming up on WordPress plugins from A to Z. WordPress. It's the most popular content management and website solution on the internet. And with over 80,000 plugins to choose from, how do you separate the junk from the gems? Join us for a weekly, unrehearsed conversation about the latest and greatest in WordPress plugins. This is WordPress plugins from A to Z. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the brewery overlooking beautiful southern Vancouver Island. I'm John Overall, and this is the interview show number 65 with Ryan Logan from InfluenceWP. InfluenceWP, a platform dedicated to enhancing the WordPress ecosystem by amplifying the reach and impact of entities such as plugins, themes, agencies, and communities. This was founded by Ryan, and well, welcome to the show, Ryan. I greatly appreciate you coming in here.
Thank you for having me, John. Appreciate the time.
Oh, not a problem. I'm always happy to spread more information. I've been actually looking forward to talking to you about this thing. I've been playing with the platform myself off and on for the last week, and well, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and why you created InfluenceWP.
Yeah, I started off my career in 1997 in the IT industry. Worked my way up to interim CIO before I left IT officially in 2019 after starting my own IT consulting business. During that time, I kept being asked over and over by clients, can you build us a website? After saying no about 10 times, I figured, well, I'm missing some opportunities to help people and expand my business. So I taught myself WordPress, and the rest is really history. But that started officially in 2014. And over the years, WordPress has just given me an amazing life. I can work from home, work with my dogs right alongside me and things like that. So I always thought about how could I give back to WordPress, and as somebody who specializes in building directories and connecting with partners, this was the best way that I knew how to give back to WordPress.
Yeah, it's a great way to do it. Now, the InfluenceWP, you created a membership program here where you offer a free lifetime partner memberships. What was the idea behind this zero risk approach, and how do you see it benefiting the WordPress community?
Again, it was solely based on trying to give back to WordPress. And, these partners are obviously part of WordPress, whether they have products or services, just helping them get the word out in a very inexpensive, pretty much free manner. Building those relationships, community, and I've got some long-term plans to even further help everybody, again, with pretty much a zero-cost approach, just all about giving back to WordPress, and that's really about it. That's the motivation.
Yeah, well, I discovered it a few weeks ago, about a month or so ago, somewhere. I might have even been a tweet you sent out that sent me there looking at it. And when I discovered it, I found you had an interesting story as to what drove you to create this. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about that, expand that a little bit, or?
Yeah, to expand on it. So I've had a lot of clients over the years looking for solutions, services, constantly getting burned. For example, if someone is looking for a particular solution, they go out on the internet and one of the things that's human nature, we're going to type in discount for such and such plugin, right? So they go down this rabbit hole of hitting all of these deal websites that inject their affiliate links, their cookies, and all of that stuff into their browser. Oftentimes on the other end, there's no deal. It's just a fake play to get affiliate sales. So they would constantly come to me like, Ryan, these sites have injected malware. Like, I was hit with like all these pop-ups. I didn't even get a deal in the end. I'm pretty sure I awarded somebody that didn't even really do anything to get this affiliate commission and stuff like that. And so for years, I thought of like ways to solve this. And one of those ways was partnerships. Go to these vendors and say, hey, I can introduce you to some people. If you can give my folks a discount, I'll help you produce content, make introductions, things like that. So that was part of the partnership and making that, giving back in that way, but also solving a problem with fake deals and kind of putting those fake deal websites on notice. Like, right. I'm not going to say that I'm going to eradicate those, but there's a better alternative that is coming. Like, that's kind of where I'm headed.
Eradicating them is near impossible, but at least put a dent in them and give people a more trusting place where they can find stuff and find a good deal on it.
Yeah, dent is exactly the way that I pitched it. Like, just put a dent in this. Try to.
And help bring some more respectability back to the plugin industry and the other service and even the hosting industry itself. It's like I've been hosting for 26 years now. I've been a web host provider, but I've always stayed small and boutique style, and I've been very selective on my clients over the years and always limited it to clients I had, or somebody come to me, they couldn't just go in, create an account. I tried that once, open it, let it create accounts. I got spammed so fast it wasn't funny. I think about those big guys and I think, how do they manage the insanity of the spammers comes in? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it just helps to be able to create something that will limit people into having some faith and trust into what it's doing.
Yeah. And the other piece too is it's like, so partners will come to me and they're like, well, this is too good to be true. Like, you have some long-term strategy that we just don't know about and it's not going to be good. Once we get past that, and I tell them the story of where this is going and where it's at now, we get past that. But it's also, they're like, okay, I can give you a discount for the community. I see what you're doing there. But also I've found, like, they'll say, okay, here's 20% off, right? I'm saying, but you do know that I am not injecting affiliate links. You do know that I may be one of your best affiliates that is never going to ask you to pay me out.
Right.
With that in mind, can you give 5%? Can you give 10% more than you would somebody else? And that creates this environment where they still get all that exposure. They know they're not going to have to pay out one of their top affiliates, potentially, hopefully, that extra cost, but they can up their discount and potentially get more customers. So it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, well, that was it. When I looked it over at first, I was like, well, maybe. And then I thought about it and I looked at it and said, you know what? I don't give deals out very often. So at least I know from this, the deals will come out to be much better. And you know what you've got there, even in the few weeks since I first set up mine on here, I've seen you've increased dramatically with it. Lots and lots more people are showing up on it.
Yeah, there's I literally have a backlog.
Yeah.
So, this isn't my full-time job, and but I treat it like I don't have to do anything. So I'm doing this like it is my full-time job, but it's not. But I have this backlog there's still more in the pipeline. They're coming every day. It's just the time to get it out there.
Yeah, that one's always going to be a bit of a problem, I'm sure. Now, the other nice thing I've noticed you do on here, and I can't seem to find it on the website right now, but you create videos on the products on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. If you go to the footer, you can find the channel, or just go to YouTube and search for it.
Okay, you don't have them hosted in the website. I just know you've sent them out, and I've gone and watched a few of the videos.
There you go. That YouTube channel link there, that'll get you there.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I'll bring that up. So yeah, you've created a lot of videos examining the plugins and such that people have been putting up on there for you. Mm-hmm. And what are you finding? What I found interesting, it's something that I used to do years ago, was training videos, and you're doing them raw without having done a run through once. You're doing it like first time you set it up to see the ease of it. How do you find that?
I find it extremely challenging because I've done a lot of YouTube tutorials where, like, I know the solution inside and out. This is a unique challenge because I will get sometimes 20 minutes into a video and there's problems, right? So I have to go back to the vendor and I'm saying, I can't publish this, it's not good for either one of us. Yeah. So it's a massive time suck. And sometimes the vendor doesn't understand that they have a problem. Mm-hmm. So there's benefit to them in that. I've pointed out many issues. Oh, thank you for pointing that out. Yeah. And then we'll go and they'll say, okay, Ryan, I fixed it. Can you do another video? And then I'll go do it. It kind of taints the first look a little bit, but not entirely. I like to just do it in the first run. That's the ideal. But the truth of the matter is, doesn't always work out that way.
Well, as I've learned over the years with all the different plugins I've reviewed and tested and brought to bear, it's like some of them very easy to set up. Others, you get into it and it seemed like a logical path, and all of a sudden you hit a wall and you go, oh, wait a minute, what happened here?
There's also the like, I don't want to come across as like someone that doesn't know anything about WordPress or technology. Like, you get so like, oh, I don't understand what is going on here. Like, there's no way that someone off the streets that doesn't know WordPress is going to figure this out. So there's value in that too. Yeah.
Well, there's definitely value in it, and that creates a nice value for the developers in that it makes it more saleable for their products if it's easy to go through and set it up and anyone can get it on the first run.
Yeah. And then there's also extended looks. That's when I'm more familiar with the product. Like on the screen there, you see WP umbrella. So I can speak to that more in depth.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do different types. I try to do something that's unique, something that other people aren't doing, just to keep it, unique.
Yeah. Well, that's something I'm bringing back again is my training videos I used to have. I actually had training videos a couple of times over the years where the developer adopted it for their own into their plugin documentation as a training video, which I always found kind of amusing when that happened. All of a sudden, I get a video getting hundreds of thousands of views. I was like, "What happened here?" And it's like, "Oh, the plugin developer adopted it."
Yeah, that is. Tutorials are coming. That's just the main focus now is populating the platform, getting the word out.
Yeah.
Tutorials will come, but right now it's about the partners first and foremost, and helping consumers also.
Yeah, well, slowly it seems to be the word's getting out. I've referred it off to a couple of my friends, and one of them has set himself up on your site. And
oh, good.
I saw you publish his information. I went, oh, he finally did it. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's to help him because he builds and develops plugins. It's Web 3.2.1, but yeah, he builds some amazing plugins, and he's got another one that's coming out here pretty soon. I've been helping him debug it. And that's always fun for me. Is debugging it. I love it when a developer throws me a plugin and says, "Here, let's see if you can help me solve some problems," and so I'll break it for him.
Yeah, and that's one of the unique things that I would like to drive home to people. Shows like this are really the only thing that allows me to do it, unless somebody books a meeting with me. But when you have affiliate relationships, a lot of times what they do is they get that link. I know because I've done this. Like, you get that affiliate link, you might do a video, you might do a guide, and you disappear. You're not really invested in the company's growth and success over time.
Right.
What I'm trying to do differently with InfluenceWP is I want partners to feel like I can ring up Ryan in an afternoon and say, "Hey, we're about to launch this cool new feature. Can you take it for a spin? Let us know what you think." That's the kind of unique stuff that I'm trying to do, is have like a real relationship with folks, and not just, I don't have affiliate links. Like, literally, I don't make any money off you. So setting up that unique relationship that I don't think exists out there, at least that I know of.
Yeah. The other thought that came to me when I saw this was, it occurred after I caught an article. I can't remember where I got it from. The slow death of the plugin, not repositories, the plugin directories out there, such as Envato and others. They're slowly dying right now. More and more people are moving away from plugin developers or plugin directories like that. The other is developers. Back when the plugin directories were first created, it was the best way for developers to sell their plugins in a premium version because it went to a central point, mainly because it wasn't as easy to collect the money on your own website, such as it is now. I mean, there's so many easy ways to set up purchasing on your own website now. And so many of the developers, in fact, a few of the ones that survived Envato, I still use. They've stopped selling them in Envato. They sell them directly from their own website, and they have their own licensing system set up. And this is another way, I think, for people to find the trustworthy plugins, the ones that have someone sort of review them first, or at least understand a little bit about their functionality, and semi-vetted the companies behind them. You know, versus like typing into WordPress, what's the best calendar plugin, and get 10,000 out of Google search, and then try to pick which one might be good.
Yeah, you get a listicle that is full of affiliate links.
Yeah,
and
there's
again,
that too.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of stuff I'm trying to put a dent in, as we said.
Yeah, the affiliate link ones drive me mental, and I don't even look at them anymore. The top 10, and every one of them's an affiliate link.
Yeah, and then it's the whoever's producing the content, their plugin is like the top 5. So
yes, there's that one too. There's those ones too. Yeah, you've got a little bit of everything in there. But in this one here, it's like you've got a pretty good directory going between your SAS, agencies, experts, podcasts, newsletters, hosting, plugins, and themes. So, you know, you've pretty much covered the whole gambit of everything that's needed for WordPress.
Yeah, I've slowly whittled a couple out, taken a couple out. There wasn't a lot of traction. For example, unfortunately, I thought a big one would be communities, but I took that one out. There was no traction. So I'm just kind of finding what people are really looking for and are interested in, and just kind of, fine tuning it.
Very good.
Yeah, I don't want to just put out information if no one's really interested in it. But yeah.
Now for some oddball questions here I've got here. Plugins themselves, they often live or die by their integration with other tools. How do you think InfluenceWP can facilitate connections like that?
That is a great question. My first thought goes to, because it would be extremely time consuming on my part to like figure all of that out and document all of that out in the listings and filters and all of that. My first thought goes to community. And I launched the IWP community, I think it was 2 weeks ago now. And yeah, I'm trying to do something unique there as well, where I'm bringing in all of the partners and consumers, which I don't feel like other communities are doing that. I feel like it's like partners are in communities talking to other partners, or consumers are talking to consumers, or partners are talking to only their consumers, and you have all of these silos. But my thought was, what if we can bring all of those people into one spot? And if somebody has an integration question, you've got the partners right there ready to answer it. That's where my mind goes immediately for that sort of thing.
Well, that's an excellent idea about it. And a question on that a little further is, I've only begun playing with the community section of it. What I'm trying to find, every time I have to find it, I have to go back and find a link. You need a link somewhere off of the main site to it. But would the different people be able to send a message off to one of the partners in there, in the community, like a message, direct message them, like they do in Twitter, for example, for
100%.
A better example. Okay, so that's all built in there.
100%. Yeah, and the beauty of it is, I don't know if you want to pull up the community page or not.
I don't know where the link is.
It's in the header there.
Oh, that one there.
Yeah.
That one get me into it? Yep.
That'll get you into explaining what this.
Yeah, it gets me into explaining what it is. I'm logged in right now, but we'll just.
Okay, I got you. So one of the ideas or the things that I pitch is because this platform is the way that it is, it automatically removes the bots, it removes the ads. You can work in specific dedicated spaces based on a topic.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got what you see there on your screen there. It's called the Partner Lounge, and it's like a secret space where just the partners can be in there and interact with each other, and no one else can see what they're talking about. So that's where we can collaborate on stuff together.
Okay.
In that space. And the other beauty about this is, unlike a social media platform, is you can be in only the spaces you want to be in, and you don't even have to log into this. You can just sit on your phone and in your preferences say, I only want to get alerts when the Partner Lounge gets a post.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like you think about other social media platforms, you just get everything.
Yeah.
Right. Coming. So it's a way that you can sit back, go about your day, do your job, and only get notified about what you want to get notified about. That's another big feature.
That's a nice feature, especially if somebody's monitoring something or trying to do a deal or trying to communicate with one of the partners that has a plugin or something that they want to do some integration with.
Yeah, there's other things too. Like I've kind of removed myself from most groups out there on the web, mainly because they don't treat you like professionals. So we're all in this. We have to feed families, all that sort of thing. And I feel like if you have a valuable resource that does have a monetary, price tag on it, I feel like as professionals, you should be able to share that with folks. Not spam, but I feel like you should be able to share that if someone specifically asks. But a lot of these groups, you get shamed and you get kicked out and you get banned and you get suspended, and they don't treat you like a professional. Like they're there to sell their stuff and their agendas. And if you encroach on that, even for a second, you have hell to pay. Yeah. So this is trying to eliminate that and say, hey, you guys are professionals here. Like, let's do this professional thing together and not be penalized, right?
Oh yeah, I understand that one full well. I've been booted from one or two groups over the years for that exact thing, and I wasn't even trying to sell something, but somebody had a question about something, but I'd already written a whole article explaining it. So I drop in the link to my article because I'm not going to reproduce the article for them there. And then I get slammed into the wall for that. It's like, wait, all I wanted to do was give them information. They can buy from me if they want from my site. Yes, granted, it's to get people to see what I do, but I was solving their problem.
It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
I literally recently posted and said, someone asked specific questions about building directories, and I said, happy to answer any of your questions. And it was literally my top level domain name, and that was it. I got suspended.
Yeah.
I got suspended, and I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say I've seen that. I've seen that done to me a couple of times over the years. It's like, yeah, okay, it's not worth it here for me to try and help and solve problems. You know, I'll just have to hope on a Google search they find my stuff and come find their problem.
Yeah, but I'll be fully transparent. It's kind of how I operate. I don't think this is going to work. I don't think this is going to be around next month. And by that, I mean the community aspect of InfluenceWP, unfortunately, unless something dramatically shifts. Because the only way that it really works is if the partners are willing to bring in their folks. That's the only way. That cross contamination, if you will.
Cross pollination. Cross pollination.
There you go.
Not contamination. We want to pollinate across the field.
Yeah. If they don't do that, and they're not doing that currently, which it's fine. Well, you're busy, you're running a business. Maybe it just doesn't make sense to you. It doesn't work because everybody has their own communities, their own silos. They seem to be comfortable. I was just trying to offer something for basically free that's different and, in my opinion, better. Yeah. But as they say, you know, lead a horse to water, can't make them drink type of thing.
Absolutely.
So I hope it turns around. I hope it blows up, but I don't think.
I hope so too, because it just seems like a very good resource to me. And, you know, give it some time. Granted, you know, I think about, you know, how much time it took me to get something done from the time I signed up. You got me set, and it took me another 5 days before I could get back to it. And now what also has to happen is I have to integrate this stuff into my daily routine of what I'm doing, so that I'm checking these things initially. You know, you spending 5-10 minutes on it, you know, or something catches my attention. So I don't kill it too soon. Give it a little time to flow in. You are relatively new. I mean, how long has this site been up and running now?
It's middle of September, right before some things went on in WordPress.
Really?
Which,
it took that long for me to find it. Oh my God. Okay.
It launched at what I thought was possibly the worst time I could ever think to launch it, but people were like, "No, we actually need this right now." Like, so
we do.
Keep going.
We do need this in the WordPress community right now. The WordPress community is a bit of a conflagration, for lack of a better term, and it's the time. What's funny is that's the time I decided to dive back in my business. I was slowly edging my way out of this industry, and I've been doing a urban farmstead for the last 4 years, and I'd slowly edged down to where I was doing like 20% internet stuff for a while. But this last year, I had some life changes happen, and I went, okay, go back to my business and my roots. And I decided to turn my business around here, make my podcast more prominent than it has been for the last several years, bring back all the interviews I used to do. It's like yours is labeled 65, but it's actually somewhere around 195. You're 65 since I started counting them.
Okay.
But I had done, I was looking back at my history, and you can't find it on WP Plugins website, but on johnoverall.com, you can go all the way back to episode 1 of my show, because that's where I published it for years and years, and that's where it started. And we've got over 640, 50 episodes of the podcast, and when I searched up interview shows, I had over 150 plus. So it's like, wow. I've done a lot in this aspect, but now I'm bringing it back. And what I'm having to do is I'm having to reincorporate many of the things I used to do into my daily routines, such as, you know, such as the WP Influence community. So don't let it die too soon. Give it time. It took me, if you launched it in September, I only discovered it in January, February, I think.
Yeah, I'm specifically talking about like
Yeah.
the community. That's the separate platform, not IWP. That's gonna continue
No.
for sure.
But hey, even your community separate platform, I'd give it a few months. Give it a
I
few
will,
months
I will.
for more people to find it and realize the value in it. And that's the hard part is, people find things and then they got to figure out, well, how is it valuable to me? And they've got to monitor a few things, or they've got to get some questions, or need more questions and then people to answer questions a few times. So once it gets moving, I think it's gonna rock for you. I really do. So it just looks like something that has it. If after 6 months it's not moving, well, yeah, okay, you've given it the lifespan it needs.
Okay. All right.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion. But,
yeah. You're not the first. You're not the first to say that. I don't know.
it can seem like nothing's happening. I've done that myself. It's like I do things and it seems like nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden, boom, there it goes. Yeah.
It's just a little disheartening when you build something you think everybody needs and wants, and then it turns out that may not be the case.
Yeah.
It bums me out a little bit, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, we've got everything moving on, moving forward. There's lots of other things that are happening, and they pop up a couple other random questions I've written down for when I got stalled like this.
Okay.
Here's a good one. If you could create a dream WordPress plugin, something wild or out of the box, what would it be, and how would InfluenceWP help market it?
Something wild, huh? Well, a lot of the things that I hear, if you actually go to the homepage of InfluenceWP, you'll see some quotes from some very well-known folks in the WordPress industry. And the quotes that you see towards the top of the page, I think it's like right after the hero. Right there, right? Yeah. These quotes I heard after I launched InfluenceWP and punched these in here. And every time I heard them on the podcast and stuff like that, I was like nodding my head, like, yes, behind the scenes, this is what the developers are telling me. Like my website, my plugin's amazing, but my website doesn't look good. I'm like, you guys don't have an about page with your team. Like I buy from people and faces, and they're like, oh, that's a good idea, Ryan. Like these people know how to build products and services, but anything outside of that, the marketing, maybe they're just big time introverts. Like for me, I spent my 95% of my entire WordPress career behind the scenes, not talking to anyone. And I've recently came out and started talking to partners and put myself out there on social media and stuff, because you have to, like, you absolutely have to if you're going to do something like this. But there's even still some of these vendors don't want to do that, so they are coming to InfluenceWP, and I'm doing it for them. It's part of what's going on. So I'll run them through the whole thing. We'll do the first look video. Maybe 6 months down the road, if I'm using that particular solution, I'll do an extended look. Like I said, if they reach out to me in an afternoon and say, Ryan, we launched a new feature. Can you do a video on it, or at least look at it for us? And then maybe I do a video and introduce that feature. I'll just run them through the whole process, multiple layers, hopefully get them into the community so they're talking to other consumers that aren't their direct consumers, cross-pollinating, if you will.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. You got to keep cross-pollinating across all the different aspects between it. And yeah, a lot of developers, they are for semi-introverted, and they don't know marketing, because marketing is not their skill set. Their skill set is creating a beautifully functioning plugin or a theme or whatever to make it the job easier for people. But marketing to people, it's, they say, you hear if you build it, they will come. Well, that's not entirely true.
I could tell you I'm going through something right now where you're talking about a plugin specifically. I mean, it applies to anything really. I just launched another business that it's in the SaaS space, but it benefits WordPress people. And because it's outside of the WordPress ecosystem specifically, like I'm like a fish out of water. Like I would normally just be like, okay, I'm going to go to the WordPress folks. And this is not a slam dunk, but eat closer to one. But now it's like I have the SaaS thing, and it's like, now what? So I know what it feels like to not know where to go, like and who to talk to. It's like, do you go spend $5,000 on ads? Do you first start with an InfluenceWP and partner up, run a giveaway, get the word out there? That's another thing we haven't talked about is, the giveaways is a cool thing.
Yeah. Well, tell us about the giveaways. I forgot to mention those. So yeah.
Yeah. So what I do is I have the software, and you literally say, Ryan, this is what I want to give away. And that's it. That's all you really need to tell me. If you have specific actions you want people to take, like subscribe to your YouTube channel, visit your product page, subscribe to your newsletter, whatever that may be, you can tell me what those actions are. But it saves these people from having to take the time out of their day to research what software they want to use, manage the software, set up the giveaway, remind everybody that there's a giveaway going on, every few days, reach out to the winners, reach out to the there's a lot of work that goes into it.
I know that one. We used to run giveaways on our show.
Yeah. So I take all that off their plate, and I don't charge anything for it. It's just part of your free membership. Right. Yeah. It's awesome. And as InfluenceWP grows, those giveaways are just going to become even crazier and crazier as far as the reach. But like this week, probably I think tomorrow, we're giving away 100 licenses up from a partner. Like it's crazy. It's
very
crazy.
Cool.
But yeah.
Thinking of that, tell us a bit about. We may have covered it and it slipped my head, but you talk about the free membership on InfluenceWP. What is required for that? What's it take to get the free membership?
There's literally one requirement: supply a discount that is at least equal to the best offer you have on the web. So I'm not asking for you to give me 10% more than you give anyone else. I just equal treatment. That gets you in. Because we are creating at that point a trusted resource for a deal, right? You're also, again, not getting that affiliate link injected in there. You're not going to ever pay me out, that sort of thing. Consumers can trust when they click on that link, they know what's on the other side. There's been situations since we started this where a partner will say accidentally ups their discount and trumps the one on InfluenceWP. And I just reach out and do a gentle nudge and just remind them that this is all free. Is this temporary what you're doing? Is this long-term? Can you increase our deal? That's really the only rule is supply a deal that's equal to the best you're offering, and don't on your own website trump our deal, because then it doesn't make sense at that point, right?
No. Makes
Makes
about as much sense as those companies that give all the new people discounts while their long-term clients are paying full price. Hey, there goes your dog.
Yes. Sorry about that.
That's all right. No problem. My dog's being quiet right now. He's snoozing over there.
I am shocked it took this long, but but that's it really. Like if you go to the pricing page, I literally tell you, like, do not give me money, please. Just like, but even if you want, you can't. I have people that just drive by and pay for an annual membership because it doesn't cost anything really. It's cheap, super cheap. I have people I've never even met before, heard of. Like they place an order and they don't ask me for anything. They just like, I love what you're doing. But yeah, if you come in and you really want to be a part of it and you can't supply a discount for whatever reason, it's stupid cheap to get in, and I'll do all the same work for you. That's it.
That's quite excellent.
The deal is the only requirement.
Well, on the whole, I'm looking forward to seeing how InfluenceWP grows. And it's just a great resource to me, and I'm spreading it out as much as I possibly can with my limited reach.
Appreciate that.
Hoping that more people come in and join it. I'm looking forward to more and more of the stuff. If you've got a backlog, I'm looking forward to more and more of it coming in. Hopefully some of the plugins that I would like to use for myself and my clients start showing up here.
Yeah, and for you and anyone out there listening, like if you want somebody to partner with InfluenceWP, like you just said, maybe you've got your eye on something. Yeah. Always feel free to reach out to me or reach out to the developer and say, hey, you guys go partner with InfluenceWP. Yeah, whatever.
Well, it's a nice way to help get them out there and get themselves some really good clients. And a lot of times when you get the clients that need and understand this stuff, you get the clients that require the least amount of service calls. You know, they're the ones that they reach out to you only when something's seriously wrong. It's like I don't reach out to the support very often, but when I do reach out to support, it's a problem. Yeah. And it's something they need to solve. So.
Yeah, I've alluded to this recently on X, Twitter. I did a poll titled Group Buying. Yeah. So I have a unique idea for the community if it sticks around, to where we reach out to partners and we get their buy-in and we say, hey, you've got a lifetime deal. It's $2,000. It might be out of reach for most of us, but together maybe we have your blessing. Like you're okay if 25 of us go in on your $2,000 lifetime deal. And you now, instead of having customers off the streets, you now have 25 professionals that are probably not going to ask you for very much help. Do we have your blessing to go in and buy this as part of a group buy? And you technically don't even have to get that blessing, but This is kind of the way I operate. And I think it's nice to say, hey, we're going to do this potentially, what do you think? And it may even be a situation where like, thanks for coming to me, here's 10% off, like something like that. But the idea is to get those people into the community and working with all of us. So they know we've got the group deal. They know we're going to be educating our own clients and customers about their product. Perhaps they could be in there in these groups, these spaces in the community, and we're all helping each other, right? It reduces the support burden on them, so there's benefits to them, right? Individual people aren't going and filling out a contact form asking for help. We are all basically supporting each other, because likely if one person has an issue, we all likely have something close to it going on. So it's kind of like crowdfunding support, sort of.
Yeah, it does. It does sound like crowdfunding support. All right. Well, we've been at it for quite a while. We're going to call it this point here. This is a point where you get to, tell everyone out there where they can find you and what they need to contact you.
Yeah, just go to influencewp.com and it's all there. Very easy to reach. Contact me anytime.
Well, thank you, Ryan. I greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come show up here. And I look forward to the expansion of InfluenceWP. It's been interesting to watch, and I kind of enjoy it.
I appreciate that, John. Thanks again for having me. I know how much time this all takes.
Oh yeah, well, podcasting itself takes a lot of time. I've still got a few other things I need to.
I know how much time it takes, and greatly appreciated.
Sorry, I just suddenly started choking.
That's okay.
Get some liquid in me. All right, let's try this. Yeah, the nice thing is I don't have video on here, so people don't get to see me choking into a glass. It's all audio, and that's the way I intend to keep it for a long time to come.
Nice.
All right, well, a little bit of the don't run away on me. I'm just going to play out our end of show credits, and so don't run off on me.
Reminders for the show. All show notes can be found at wppluginsa2z.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A to Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by developers because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to wppluginsa2z.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store. You can also leave us a review on our Facebook page using wppluginsa2z.com/Facebook. You can also watch the show live on YouTube, check out the screencasts and training videos, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. Follow the show on Twitter at WPPluginsA2Z. John can also be reached at his website, johnoverall.com, or email him directly, john@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today.